All right. Let me start over.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Just a Fan Podcast. Ready to drink some water. That was funny.
High quality H2O. What's up, Donald?
You all right?
Chop the screw, baby. Swisher House remix. Rest in peace of DJ Screw, baby.
What up, Donald Ray?
All right. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us for another week of Just a Fan Podcast. We keep it real and authentic for you, just like that, okay? Before I introduce us, I just want to drop, I want to let y'all know something. Check your calendars, okay? The Super Bowl is February 8th, right? On the 11th, we will be on Wednesday. Check your calendars. On the 11th, we'll be live on that Wednesday, February 11th. Excuse me. President's Day, the 16th, we're going to be on Mondays. That's going to be an off-season schedule, Mondays. Because remember, we don't compete with Monday Night Football during the season and stuff. I mean, we could go to Monday Night Football. We're not going to do that. We're going to wait till after the Super Bowl. Well, actually, after 11th. So, the 11th, we're live. Wednesday, 16th, Monday night, we're live. Okay? So, put it on your calendars. Same time, same place, just a different day. Okay? All right. So, now we can introduce ourselves. All right. I am the man who is still clearing his throat. Pause. Coach Williams, future Hall of Famer, NFL Encyclopedia, Wildcat quarterback that runs this whole thing. That direction, panel 316. The good guy with the black hat, don't be that clown. And I know what he's talking about.
I'm going to explain that in a minute when we get to that segment, but don't be that clown.
Yeah, don't be that clown. All right, so it's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL, man. I tell you what, let's let it simmer a little bit before we let it get so we can start getting hot. Okay, let's start cooking slow. Interesting things in Philadelphia, man.
Well,
they have fired their offensive coordinator.
Rightfully so.
Okay. Now they're looking for a new offensive coordinator. But right now it seems like two of their top candidates don't want to go there. One of them signed with LA last night with Mike McDaniel. The other one, well, he might either become the head coach of the Buffalo Bills or he might be an OC somewhere else in Brian Daboll. Now, the Eagles have said, and they've clearly stated this, whoever the new offense coordinator is has full autonomy of the offense. They get anything and everything called the plays, control everything offensively. But so far, nobody wants to take this job in Philadelphia. Eric, what is going on, man? Is it just
there's a couple of things I can speculate on? And no, we don't have all of the answers, but there's some things like, they say if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, Affleck. Well, some people say that Nick Sirianni is hard to work with. That coaching room is kind of toxic. Then there's also the fact that Some offensive coordinators, some guys like a challenge, and some guys might like Jalen Hurts at quarterback because they might take him as a challenge. Some guys like, nah, man, I ain't going nowhere. Well, I can't bring in my quarterback, or the quarterback's already pretty good. He just needs some molding. So that, like prime example, Mike McDaniel went to
LA.
LA to be the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. Now that Justin Herbert, that's his last chance.
Last chance.
Because in that particular offense that Mike McDaniel, excuse me, it's no S at the end. But that offense that Mike McDaniel runs is the Shanahan offense, and it's designed to make bad quarterbacks look decent. It's designed to make decent quarterbacks look good. It's designed to make good quarterbacks look superlative, and it's designed to make superlative quarterbacks look outstanding. So Justin Herbert can't make hay in that offense. Then I don't know. That we just gonna have to close the book on the on Justin Herbert, because my God, all you gotta do is not turn the ball over in that offense. But I digress. Back to the Eagles. There's three things. There's the Nick Sirianni toxicity, alleged. There's the underdevelopment of Jalen Hurts, the one read, and oh God, what am I gonna do next? Then there's the whole upheaval with AJ Brown. Now, some coordinators think he may not be there, and he's a weapon. And some of them like, man, AJ Brown. But thinking about it, AJ Brown is going to be there because his cap number
was ridiculous.
So ridiculous this coming season. I don't know any team in their right mind that would make that trade and pick up that contract. Let me back up. There are some teams that are that stupid, but like I can see the Raiders doing it, because the Raiders they just, I can see Cleveland doing it. Poverty franchises would do it, yeah, and stick their chest out about it too.
Oh yeah, the dead cap is $72 million.
$72 million. Okay, so the Eagles got to eat that dead cap, and then also the new team has to pick up the remainder of his contract. So I don't think AJ Brown's going anywhere this year, unless the Eagles just flat out cut him, which I don't see happening, because Howie Roseman's not an idiot. He's going to be like, look, if you going somewhere, I'm going to get something for you. Because one thing we can say we want about the Eagles, and we were just saying it in pre-production, you can say what you want about the Eagles, but one thing I think everybody respects that actually knows football and the business side of football, they respect Howie Roseman as a GM.
Yes,
he is a fantastic GM. You can say what you want about Sirianni. You can say what you want about the fans. You damn sure can say what you want about the fans. The fans are like nuts. But most people that actually, like I said, most people that actually know football, I had to put that disclaimer there, know the business side of football, respect Howie Roseman, because of what he's done to build this team and all of that. You can't knock him. That would be something that would attract an offensive coordinator, in my opinion, to the Eagles, because it's like, man, Howie Roseman. Hey, Howie, look, man, we need a new guard. Hold on, let me pick up this phone right here. Hey, listen. That's Howie. He gonna go get some people. If you need some people, he gonna go get them. He gonna find a way to manipulate the cap and do all of that and get the players that they need. Hey, you know what? We short a pass rusher. Hold on, let me get on this phone right quick. You got to respect that, because he don't sit on his hands, unlike some GMs. I'm looking at you, John Lynch, but he don't sit on his hands. And when he knows there's a window that his team is in, he can extend that window by maybe adding a player or two. But as far as them losing those two OCs, they might be calling me to be the OC over there.
Hey man, I'll be the OC. As much as I'm dislike the organization, I would still be the OC. I do not care. Pay me that money, and I will be the OC. Trust me. No complaints here. But no, listen, it's also too. I still think it's something with Jalen Hurts. I know the offense coordinator did not do a good job, but I also believe that he didn't believe in Jalen Hurts at all. He did not say it publicly, and he did a good job. And if that's the case, I think he did a great job holding it in. But he's not someone that's brand new from the outside. He was the Eagles passing game coordinator 2 years before he got that OC job. He knows what's up with Jalen Hurts. He knows what kind of quarterback he is or not. He did not. I don't think he believed in Jalen Hurts.
Let me tell you something, and we can go on to the next thing after this. Brian Daboll at one point had Daniel Jones
At quarterback.
at quarterback and believed in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if what we're saying is true, he said he'd rather have a Daniel Jones than a Jalen Hurts. Let that sink in, folks. Let that sink in.
And I don't care what Daniel Jones is doing in Indianapolis, man, because
He was balling before he got hurt. He was balling.
He was balling, but to be honest with you, he was balling because it's just like in New York. It was Saquon Barkley, now it's Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Fair. That's fair.
And he was, and I'm telling you, having that, and even though, and I know I say, veteran tight ends are good for young quarterbacks, but Tyler Warren as a rookie tight end was good for Daniel Jones as well. Okay, they made life easy on that man because because they took that run game away, it was like, oh, Daniel Jones, I got to play quarterback now. Oh, yeah, you got to play quarterback. You have to play quarterback, and good luck to you, because they were shutting him down. So, and yeah, that coaching staff is on the hot seat, but that's another topic for another day. But yeah, Philadelphia, they in trouble. They are in trouble, and they might end up taking a huge step back this coming season. But we will find out. Okay.
Yeah.
Next topic. Standing division. The New York Football Giants has a new head coach. Owner, I think John Mara. I know his last name is Mara, but I think it's John, his first name. He wanted to make a big splash hire before passing away. If people don't know, Mara, I believe, has cancer, if I'm not mistaken. So, and he probably feels like he doesn't have much longer, so he wouldn't want to make a big splash hire for the organization, which brought in John Harbaugh. Harbaugh's a new head coach coming over from Baltimore. He was in Baltimore for 18 seasons, went to the Super Bowl once, winning it. And this should be a very interesting offseason for the New York Giants and upcoming season for the New York Giants, man. What do you think about this hire, E?
Well, first thing first, the only reason why it took this long was because John Harbaugh was picking where he wanted to go. Because when he got fired, and we talked about it here on the show, when he got fired by Baltimore, we all said, hey, man, this man going to have a job like the next day. And the only reason why it took this long is because he was just weighing his options. But I'm pretty sure the phone was ringing off the hook as soon as the news hit the wire.
Mm-hmm.
So he's one of the most highly sought after coaches. 19 seasons in Baltimore. Most of them are winning seasons. He's hoisted the Lombardi. He's been in the conversation for contention for a Super Bowl almost every single year he's been in Baltimore. How could you not? And meanwhile, just now, Baltimore's still trying to figure out who they're going to bring in for their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing. People always, they don't, I keep saying all the time, don't be so quick to want to fire your coach if you got a good one. Now, if you going freaking 2-13, that's different. Not 2-13, that'd be 2-14, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No, that'd be 2-15. That's what it would be. Or 3.
Yo, you froze Yeah, hold on. No, wait a minute. No, yeah, you frozen, man. Yeah, you frozen. It's not me because I'm looking on my screen. Um, so while E comes back in, basically the Giants hired John Harbaugh, who won a lot of games. Had 12. He went to the playoffs 12 out of 18 seasons. Okay. Um, and so it made sense for the Giants to make this hire. And really, no, I mean, really, the main reason why it took them so long was because when you go through the interview process, you gotta do a virtual interview. You gotta you gotta go through a virtual interview. You have to go through the minority interview part where you got to interview at least two minority candidates. And then when you go to the second round of interviews, that's when you interview in person. And so then after that, he was hired. He's going through his coaching staff now. Um, I expect the Giants to be a much better team. Uh, and a lot of reason why they didn't win that many games this year was because they had injuries. They had Malik Neighbors out for the season at wide receiver. Cam Scotterbo, who's an up and coming rookie running back, ended up out for the rest of the season. So it's running back, wide receiver. But Wandale Robinson, he emerged at wide receiver. He had 1,000 yards, despite getting I'm not gonna say like a late start, but because of the injuries around him, he was forced to be the main guy midway through the season and still picked up 1,000 yards. So, and Jackson Dart is a good quarterback now. Dart gets hurt a lot, so you're gonna have a young Jackson Dart who's going to a second year. You're gonna have Cam Scotterbo going into a second year running back. Wanda Robinson, a wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. Theo Johnson is a young tight end. I think he's going to be going to his third season. So it's a young offensive nucleus in New York for the Giants. Then you have now they're going to have to fix that offensive line. Andrew Thomas at left tackle is a veteran. He should be a mainstay in New York with the Giants. Good. Okay, good. You back. But they're gonna have to fix the rest of the offense line. The rest of the offense line is terrible. Defensively, they got some guys up front in the front seven. I think the defense coordinator got fired before the head coach did was because of I feel like they underperformed this year. I felt like that defense underperformed because they have too much talent in that front seven to perform the way they did.
Okay, catch me up.
All right, so I'm just talking about how I feel about the Giants so far. This coming off season, because Dart going to a second year quarterback, it gets hurt a lot, and I'm gonna go back to that in a minute. Cam Scotterbo, up and coming run. Okay, cool. Cam Scotterbo, up and coming rookie running back, guy was out for the season, going to a second year. Malik Neighbors towards ACL. Interesting, Rondo Robinson. I say he got a late start, but it wasn't like a late start because it was his fault. It was a late start because he was forced to be the main guy midway through the season. But even though he was forced to be the main guy in the midway through the season, he still had 1,000 yards. So he had a good season. So and then Theo Johnson at tight end, who's going to his third year. So that's a young offensive nucleus. But I was saying they got to fix the offensive line because the offensive line is bad, except for left tackle Andrew Thomas. The defensive coordinator got fired before the season was over because that front seven just underperformed, and that secondary is just bad. But going back to Jackson Dart before you get started, they either gonna have to find a way to not so much bubble wrap or preserve him, but just keep him from getting hurt so much. Learn how to save himself from getting injured, or you're going to need a second string quarterback. And I'm talking about a true backup quarterback. Now, no Carson Wentz as a backup quarterback. You're going to need a Jacoby Brissett type backup quarterback because you need to be able to stay afloat in case he gets hurt.
Yeah, because his playing style is gonna, unless he changes his playing style, he's gonna have
A short career.
He's a very short career, very
Very
short.
short. Yeah, you talking about maybe 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, because he doesn't think when he plays. But getting back to John Harbaugh over this team, he's got something to work with. He's we're not gonna sit up here and say that the Giants are gonna threaten for the division. I think that's a little far fetched. However, free agency hasn't happened yet. The draft hasn't happened yet,
Right.
and we can see. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're giving him a full personnel control.
Yes. Matter of fact,
Players.
he will report to the owner and not the GM.
Okay, so
So that's why the GM was able to keep his job as a GM because he does not have to report to the GM. He has to report straight to the owner.
with that in mind, the Giants maybe not 2026, but maybe in the coming years, they can hold that nucleus together and add some pieces. They can make the NFC East a little bit more interesting instead of it just always being Eagles, 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 sometimes Cowboys, Eagles, 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 sometimes Cowboys. So, it's good for the division. It's good for New York football because at this point, nobody wants to watch New York football other than New Yorkers. Um, so it was a good hire by them. I think he's going to be able to do some things. Will he have the success that he had in Baltimore? I don't know. That remains to be seen. But we know that he's a good coach.
Yes.
His track record speaks for itself. Let's move on.
All right. Well, kind of staying up in the same state because they play New Jersey, but they call New York. So we're gonna go upstate New York, where they get tons of snow, and the Buffalo Bills have fired head coach Sean McDermott after 10 seasons.
Yeah, that was wild.
Um, they fired him on Monday. Um, some people were shocked, some people were not. Um, I'm in the middle of being shocked and not shocked because I'm like, yeah, I'm shocked because I didn't know it was gonna come on Monday, but then I'm not shocked because I'm like, well, we've said it, and Trisha was the first one to say it. The window's closed for Super Bowl. It is, and they're gonna have to fix that team. They are gonna have to fix that team, especially on defense. The defense is outdated. As
I agree.
one of my sources would say, because the defense was built to stop prime Kansas City when they were dropping back and throwing the football all over the field. Times are changing right now in the NFL. You need larger defensive personnel because offense are going with heavier personnel packages. They're going with 12 personnel packages, which is 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends, 21, 22 personnel. The first number tells you how many running backs, second number tells you how many tight ends. So that's what you need. They need larger personnel. Like I said, the defense is outdated. I never really believed in that defense line, especially Greg Rousseau, because he just never did anything for me as a pass rusher. And he got that contract extension, which I think he was overpaid, but that's another topic. But Sean McDermott is out. I think they made it to the conference championship game twice, lost both times. They were going to the divisional round almost every other year, and they lost. But the window's closed because, and I talked to Tristan about this 1-on-1. When you have a Super Bowl window, you have about 2 to 3 years, no more than 4, unless you're just special, to win that Super Bowl. Let me say that again. You have usually 2 to 3 years to win that Super Bowl, maybe 4, maybe, and that 4th year is a stretch, unless you're special. And ain't bowling but so many special teams out there. Okay? And Buffalo's window closed. All right? And I don't know how much longer Josh Allen's going to be on that team. I know the team has gotten better since he and McDermott been there, and this is the best they've been since uh oh god, the wasn't it Marv Levy days. I'm gonna just say Marv Levy because he was the head coach. Because we know who the players were. Okay, we know Jim Kelly, we know Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas, and the rest of the gang. But now Josh Allen's contract can't get out of it this year, can't get out of it next year. But that 2028 season, that's going to be interesting because it's $173 million right now, for this year. $87 million next year, and then 29 in 2028.
So let me step in on that part. The financials. Currently, and we know that the salary cap is going to take a huge jump before they announce the new salary cap. But currently, the Buffalo Bills are $11 million in the hole. They're over the cap. Okay. Ooh. All right. Now, I'm going to read off some names. These are names of people who play for the Buffalo Bills and will be free agents. Or can have their contracts voided this offseason. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
Connor McGovern.
I think Bosa need to go and retire.
Matt Milano.
He plays what? O-line?
No, the linebacker.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Connor McGovern plays O-line.
Yeah, I know McGovern plays O-line.
Tre'Davious White.
Corner.
Good old DeMar Hamlin. Shaq Thompson. Jordan Phillips.
Shaq Thompson.
Linebacker.
Oh, okay.
Jordan Poyer.
Safety.
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. He might have to retire.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Brandon Cooks was still very.
He could be a solid two. He could be a solid two.
Or a team where hey man, just run the 9 route. We gonna just clear everything out. We're gonna throw underneath.
That's why I say he could be number 2 because if you put him, depending on who that weak side corner is, he could take advantage of some weak side corners.
Yes, he could. But there's some names on this list. There's many, many more names, but these are the more, I guess you could say, household names, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And then you're $11 million over the cap. And you have a team that couldn't get over the hump. They couldn't get over the hump this year. So obviously you need more. But you don't have a lot of cap space and you're losing a lot of guys. Now, wait a minute. Let's not forget about the fact that we still don't know who the coach is going to be for the Buffalo Bills.
That's true.
Which I was going to get to that while you were talking, but you got, people talk about McDermott. Well, he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that, he couldn't do this. But this is one of those, in my opinion, is not on the level of a John Harbaugh, but this is one of those throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Because, really simply, who are you going to get that's going to give you that level of success?
Especially when you haven't had it since.
Come on,
again.
Now. You don't
leaving error.
I'm not in favor. I wasn't in favor of Sean McDermott's firing. Now some people are like, yeah, I saw it coming. And I'm like, okay, but who you gonna get? Who you gonna get that's gonna equal or exceed what's been happening in Buffalo the last few years? Because you getting rid of a guy that's getting you to the playoffs but can't get you to the Super Bowl, and you might be hiring a guy that can't get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you might be. I'll put it like this.
You might be going backwards.
A very wise person I knew once said this. I am humble enough to know that I'm replaceable, but I'm also confident enough to know that it's a downgrade. So that could be the case in Buffalo. I'm not saying it will be. They might hire some guy that they're like, boom, they in the Super Bowl next year. It could happen. I don't know. But you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater in this particular case. Again, you got a coach that's only won you 3 games 1 year, 4 games next year, 2 games. Yeah, he got to go. When you talk about a guy that's getting you double-digit wins and getting you in the playoffs every year, you better damn sure know his replacement before you get rid of him. You better already have that guy lined up, ready to go. And I think Buffalo did not prepare for this. Oh, we're gonna just get rid of. I think it was very knee jerk. I think they're like, well, we're just gonna get rid of him. Okay, well, you finna. Yeah, prime example. Again, like I'm a Niners fan. You got Niners fans. Well, Shanahan gotta go. Shanahan a punk. Da 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 da. This all. That's okay. Who you gonna get? Who you gonna get that's gonna have us where we at?
You know how difficult that is to get you where you've been.
Thank you. So when you're constantly in the conversation, you're constantly a contender all year long. There's only one team that can win the Super Bowl. There's only one. Okay? But you're up there in that upper echelon and that contending. You're in contention every single year. Shows like this one, right before the season start, we start talking about who gonna win the division, who gonna be a playoff team. And Buffalo was one of them teams that was always going to be there. Baltimore was one of them teams that was always going to be there. The two biggest faux pas this offseason, and we even got to the offseason yet, was the firing of John Harbaugh, who got another job like that, and Sean McDermott. Those are the two biggest firings. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, watch this. That's literally like, watch this.
Now, even though Pittsburgh was no longer in the upper echelon, still the fact that they still gonna have to replace Mike Tomlin.
That part. So you got to look at that. But let's move on because we still got more coaching moves to cover. Let me see. Stefanski's in Atlanta.
Yeah, let's do that.
So Stefanski's in Atlanta. They fired Raheem Morris. That's another firing that I didn't necessarily agree with.
Okay.
Now, Raheem Morris firing is not the same as, say, a Harbaugh or a McDermott firing. But bringing in Stefanski, all I can think of is the mentality must be, hey, we're going to bring in an offensive-minded coach. So offensive-minded coach, we need to develop Michael Penix, and we need to see what the offense can really be with this offensive-minded coach. And he brings his OC with him from Cleveland. I don't know. I really don't know what to expect from Atlanta this coming year. The upside is it's not a very strong division.
That's true.
I think that may be why Stefanski chose that because he can start off slow. Let's see how patient Arthur Blank is going to be. You got a young quarterback that's got knee issues, that's got another knee issue. It was out for the season with that knee. So, like, I don't know, you gonna bench him and, like, I don't know, bring in Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel, trade for Dylan Gabriel? Like, what are you doing? Now, granted, Kirk Cousins is still there, siphoning money like a doggone faucet off of the Atlanta Falcons. But, yeah, Atlanta fans, if you're an Atlanta fan, chime in. What do you think Kevin Stefanski's going to be for your team? If we got,
I know one thing. He brought in Bill Callahan to be his offensive line coach. So that offensive line should be much better because that's an O-line guru. And man, Bijan Robinson, that boy gonna be running duo. He's gonna be running pin and pull all day long, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Bijan Robinson had a hell of a season this year.
Yeah, he did. So, and Drake London. And Kyle Pitts came out of nowhere. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with Kyle Pitts, man. I don't know, man. It's just, without the quarterback, that's gonna be tough. Defensive coordinator. They had guys, rookies, who is turning that defense around. Whoever he brings in as his defensive coordinator is going to have to keep that going and take that defense to the next level. Because Jalen Walker and James Pierce, They were getting after the quarterback. And that young safety, that rookie, was getting interceptions.
Xavier Watts.
Yeah, Xavier Watts, thank you.
Very good player.
He was getting interceptions.
So Kyle Pitts is a free agent coming in.
Yeah, I know he's a free agent. And that's the thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. What are they going to do with him?
Yeah. Tyler Algier, who's very underrated.
So
running back.
So what again? What are you going to do with Kyle Pitts defensively? Like I said, whoever comes in as defensive coordinator is going to have to take that defense to the next level because those young guys were playing ball. Okay, they still got AJ Terrell as a corner in his prime. Justin Simmons is a veteran safety. We'll see how much longer he stays. I feel like maybe they might need a middle linebacker and a guy in the middle to anchor against the run. But I mean, other than that, it shouldn't be too much more.
The defense should be
on defense,
provided there's not a major scheme shift.
Right.
I think the defense should be okay, but I mean the jury's out on that one. That's one that I'm gonna tell you right now. That's up in the air. For me, I don't know what that's gonna look like.
The only good thing for Stefanski really is that he's won Coach of the Year twice, and to do that in Cleveland really says a lot. Now the way things ended for him in Cleveland was not great, so this can go. I don't know. It's kind of tough to say. We'll see how Carolina emerges. I don't know what's going to happen with Tampa Bay, and then you have New Orleans, who's creeping on the come up.
It was really funny. There's like supposed beef between Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he's in the division now. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But Baker, you need to stop because you turn the ball over 20 times a season. Don't shut up. Shut up. Don't say that. We're gonna talk about people that need to shut up later on in the show too. But I don't know what that's gonna look like.
I don't know like either.
That entire division is an enigma. Okay. Let's move on. Robert Saleh has been hired by the Tennessee Titans to be their next head coach. Now, this is not a job that I would have jumped at. Okay. I'm Robert Saleh. Yes, he's a hot coach commodity. He made something out of nothing with the 49ers defense this season when he was pulling in guys from off the street and still winning football games. But this is not a job. Okay, let's just go ahead and be real. The Tennessee Titans are a poverty franchise. If Tennessee had not offered him the head coaching job, the next day he was going to interview with the Arizona Cardinals. Okay? And I'm sitting up here like, I think, to me, it felt like Robert Saleh jumped at the first thing that came up to him. And it's like, there were better places to go that were available if you held your horses. We're talking about a Tennessee Titans team that basically fired. They were the first team to fire their coach this season. Okay, there's been upheaval with the GM and the head coach for years in Tennessee. That's a franchise that does not have patience. They just like, okay, all right, make something happen. They don't have realistic expectations. Make something happen right now. Well, I got to build a team up. No, you need to make something happen right now. Well, I need the players. No, you need to make something happen right. Honestly, that's not a job I would take.
You know what?
The Titans, the Cardinals, the Raiders, those are jobs that I would not take because they have poverty franchise mentalities. And they have this instant gratification kind of mentality going on. I give Robert Saleh 2 years there. And he's going to be a DC again somewhere else because, again, I would not have jumped at that position when there were, God, Buffalo's available. Pittsburgh's available. Baltimore's available. Can you imagine Robert Saleh in Baltimore or Pittsburgh? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So,
let me say something. Let me say something. I'm gonna throw something else about this organization as well. by these organizations, okay? These organizations want to cook brisket in a microwave.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Let me say that again.
I'm a pit master, so
They want to cook brisket in a microwave and push the button and put on for 3 minutes, and then when the thing says ding and they take it out and they say, "Look, my brisket is finished."
they want to be able to cut into it and see a smoke ring around, and it's like it don't work like that.
No,
You gotta slow smoke that thing.
yeah,
And
and,
no higher than 225 for about 6-7 hours.
when you are a new coach, you need time to one bring in your players. And I said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Year one, you bring in your players. You slowly get rid of players you don't want, and it's for various reasons. Year two, you bring in more of your players and getting rid of some more players. But now your team is getting stronger because you getting your guys in. They picking up on your philosophy. They gelling everything. Year three, you're fighting to get to 500, maybe a little bit above 500. If you're in the NFC South, maybe you might win a division title. But year four, that's when you're trying to get that division title. You're getting to about maybe 10, 11 wins. You're in the playoffs. And who knows? Maybe you get to second round, which is the division round, maybe even the conference championship game. You don't know, depending on how good your roster is. But that's how you build your organization. Like I just said, you cannot put brisket in a microwave, hit 3 minutes, and then when the thing says ding, it's finished. No, it's not finished. It's
Now, to be fair, I think one of the things that did attract Robert Saleh, it's the only thing I can think of, is two things. You got a really talented young quarterback in Cam Ward, but you're going to have to bring in an offense coordinator that can bring the most out of it. But also, the biggest thing, as of right now, before the new cap is calculated, the Tennessee Titans have $93 million in cap space.
93 million, and they have the number four, and they have the number 4 overall pick. I heard,
and the number 4 overall pick. So maybe that was the thing that attracted him to Tennessee. But at the same time, this is a franchise that doesn't know what patience is. Now, are they going to turn over a new leaf and give him time to build? We'll see. But I know at face value, that's not somewhere where I would have wanted to be.
Well, I also know that he's going to get a chance to call the defense like he wants to. He didn't do that in New York, according to him. So he wants to call the defense, and he'll be able to do that this time in Tennessee.
Well, he damn sure called the defense the way he wanted to in San Francisco, even though he didn't have much to work with.
Hey, T, you got anything, man? I know you're just getting on, man. You ready?
Wait. Congratulations to Tris TV.
Yes, sir.
You're watching him right now from his new office in his new home that he just closed on. So that's a blessing. Congratulations, Tris TV.
Congratulations.
Now tell us about Robert Saleh in Tennessee.
And hold on, before you get started though, Tristan, I will say you have an F for not calling me like you were supposed to. Yeah, you have an F. So I'm gonna write you up. I'm put you in school suspension for the rest of the school year. Okay, now go. And you on mute.
Nah, I appreciate it, y'all. And you're right, Brandon. I definitely was supposed to call you. It's been crazy busy here, but definitely appreciate
I understand.
the love and support. Definitely excited. I still got to add a couple more things to this wall, so more things coming through. But yeah, definitely appreciate it, man. But going into this Robert Saleh situation, going to Tennessee. Listen, I agree with Eric. I thought between him and Brian Flores was a match made in heaven to go to Baltimore, just of their personalities alone, and I can see the intrigue of having the 4th overall pick. Cam Ward shows some promise at the quarterback position. It really is going to depend on the OC that you're bringing in to see what's going to come of that and how that's going to come forth. But you're also passing up a 2-time MVP in Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
A future Hall of Famer in Derrick Henry.
Yes.
I mean, like, did you not learn your lesson from your days with the Jets? Like, you gotta have it. Appreciate it. You gotta have it. But I think he believes in Cam Ward. Well, he has to in order to take that job. He believes in Cam Ward, and I think he feels that he can make some noise with that number 4 overall pick, whether it's trading down to accumulate more picks to load up that roster, or if there's somebody that falls there that can be an intricate piece. Really, I think to the offensive side of the ball, I think you really have to look at that offensive side of the ball first because it was kind of like um, Cam Ward or bust. So you kind of have to look at that side of the ball first before anything. Even though I know there's some questions on the defensive side as well, but I think he can address that through free agency. They can make some moves. They, like you said, they got a lot of money to spend, so I think he can address that. But
It's
you
gonna be more
really
than
got to
that
give
when the new cap. Yeah, when the new cap is figured, it's gonna be even more than that.
exactly. But I really think he's got to pay attention to the offensive side of the ball. That starts with who's your OC going to be, as well as who you're bringing in for weapons for Cam Ward for sure.
Yeah, because when I'm looking at this list, um, who is on offense now? Of course, they have free agents. I don't see any names on free agency on offense that is really worth bringing back. I mean, Van Joseph to me is either number 3 or number 4 receiver. So you're looking at Calvin Ridley basically by himself a wide receiver. Not saying he's the only receiver, but he's like him or nobody else.
And he was inconsistent for him.
Right.
Calvin Ridley was supposed to change life for Cam Ward.
Exactly. And then the 2 running backs is Tony Pollard and Todd Spears. But their season was like it was up and down. It was some good, some bad. So they are really going to have to, like you said, fix this offense. The offense coordinator is crucial. Like you said, T, the defense should get better with free agency, even some in the draft, but also should get better because let's not forget, and Eric knows where I'm about to go with this. He was just a defensive coordinator in San Francisco. Okay. That defense overachieved
Absolutely.
to the
Extremely.
25th power. That defense overachieved to the 25th power, losing Nick Bosa, losing Fred Warner. Fred Warner and San Francisco had advanced. They would have got him back this weekend. And they lost some other up-and-coming players. That's a lot. But he got that defense overachieved. So just that alone, and they still have Jeffrey Simmons at defensive tackle. Let's see. Ooh, they got a lot of free agents at defensive tackle. Tavondre Sweat is the nose tackle. Let's see. Not liking the linebacker room too much. DB room. But L'Jarius Sneed. But L'Jarius Sneed, I feel like he might have underachieved in Xavier Woods. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. So I love the move for
Right.
Tennessee because if you needed someone that was going to be a button pusher,
Yes.
Robert Saleh is going to be a button pusher for that defense side of the ball. But
Yes.
I didn't like it for him because of the uncertainty with the offensive side of the ball. So if they can get the OC right and can get some weapons for Cam Ward, we could look at something.
Yeah. And that's a tough division because we'll see what happens with Indianapolis moving forward, but still a little shaky on them. Jacksonville, they're gonna have to take the next step. We'll see what that looks like next year. Houston have a Super Bowl defense. We said it in our group chat. They have Super Bowl defense, but they're going to have to figure out that quarterback position with
They have
CJ
a
Stroud.
They have a Super Bowl roster.
Yeah, they do.
Which the quarterback is what's in question. That was, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But that roster was Super Bowl ready.
Yes,
and it was a wasted roster. But we're gonna get to that later. But the best thing about Robert Saleh going to the Tennessee Titans, and we'll move on after this, is the feud between him and Liam Cohen. They will now see each other twice a year.
Hey, man.
No, there was words exchanged the week of the 49ers Jaguars game, and Robert Saleh gave kind of an offhand compliment to the Jaguars, saying, "Hey, they pretty good at stealing signs and this, that, and the third."
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that.
Liam Cohen was very upset about that, and he took it as a slight. And after the game, where the Jaguars were able to beat the 49ers because Brock Purdy had that still had that toe injury, He runs up to Robert Sala. He goes, "Keep my name out your mouth. Keep my name." It was a big, brouhaha, kerfuffle in the middle of the field. And Robert Sala reportedly said, "I will effing kill you." And if you look at Liam Cohen and you look at Robert Sala, I'm gonna put it like this: you put them in the octagon, my money's on Sala.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm down for a little pay-per-view match after the game. So
But listen, when the Titans play the Jaguars this year, I will be watching because we got this whole Ben Johnson LaFleur thing happening. Now we got a Sala and Cohen.
I love it.
And
I love it.
Rivalries, baby, rivalries, man. We need some. We need rivalries, man. Hey, listen. You know what? Can I say? Okay. I know we're getting off topic, but this is good. Getting off topic type stuff now. We need rivalries because we grew up on rivalries and understanding rivalries. Okay, generation behind me and Tristan, because me and Tristan same generation. These kids are like, what's a rivalry? We're best friends. We go to the same team together. We exchange jerseys with each other. We take pictures with each other. We on social media and we high-fiving. And they got some of the silliest looking dances.
We was like, let's kill these.
They got the silliest looking dances. Like you said, man, come on, man. We need to bring this rivalry stuff back. Like you said, there's Ben Johnson versus Matt LaFleur. Good. We have Liam Cohen versus Robert Sala. Good. Show these young kids what a real rivalry is. Bring that stuff back. Okay? All that friendly stuff and these silly looking dances, man.
Yeah,
man, listen, man, I see when they be like E. I'm like, what is that?
The TikTok generation.
I love the hate.
I love that.
I do too, man.
Speaking of hate, let's go ahead and move on and talk about these playoffs.
Hey man, Jeff Harley is the new head coach of the Dolphins.
Jeff Harley is the new head coach of the Dolphins. Okay, there's not much to see here.
I don't know anything about that.
There's not. Yeah, we'll talk more about that once he's done something because he was a very low under the radar type of hiring.
I know he was. Listen. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Okay, I'm not. I really am not. I know he was a DC in Green Bay. I'm trying to see if he.
I honestly had to look him up.
Well, he was in Boston College for a few years as the head coach. Not a good record, 22 and 26, below 500. Co-defensive coordinator for Ohio State in 2019. Okay. Oh, hey, Eric, you should know who he is. He's your former DBs coach from 16 to 18. He was at Cleveland's DBs, so he knows something about DBs. I know that much. Rutgers, Tampa Bay DBs. I guess, is that supposed to be University of Pittsburgh? I guess it's going for DBs and defensive assistant, Albany DBs, graduate assistant, running backs coach with WPI. Former wide receiver was a rookie free agent in 2001. Oh, okay, cool. Went to Siena College. Yeah, I'm looking at him now. Went to high school in New Jersey, born in New Jersey, 46 years old, 5'10", 185. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's who he is, man. But he's obviously he's going to run that defense. I don't know how he's going to run his defense because I just don't know much about him. I have to do more.
There's a lot to talk about with this until he actually does something. I do know he's coming to a team that's $30 million over the cap.
Ooh.
30 million. 30, the 30, not 13, 30 damn million.
This might be the kind of hire where it's like this dude always wanted to be a head coach and he was just going to grab the job that was offered.
But yeah, you got a lot of free agents. I'm looking at the free agents now. It's like who?
Because to go for the Dolphins.
Yeah. They don't have a lot of money and they got a lot of free agents. This is going to be a complete overhaul. Now, if Miami's mentality is they understand that they have to blow up and start over, then he'll be okay.
He'll be
now,
okay.
Here's the thing.
It'll be a few years.
But you know what, though? They can't get out of Tua's contract because it's $99 million dead cap.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a few years.
It's
It's
gonna
like
be a few years because
they gotta understand.
They stuck with Tua, which is very, 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 very bad thing. So yeah, and then at the time of this recording, for those of you who be listening later, again, Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Arizona still do not have a coach,
and the Raiders.
What they don't really count. So
yes, they
do. No, they don't. I don't count them.
They really don't count. The Raiders are like the we talk about rivals colleges. We call them the 13th grade. That's the Raiders. Okay, they the 32nd. They the 33rd team in the league. Okay.
Tom Brady is literally your shining point for that organization. Tom Brady's gonna have to recruit this.
They the 33rd team in the league.
And I don't know what the Browns going. I don't know what the Browns going to do.
And I forgot the Browns don't have a coach either. So the Browns will be the 32nd team, and then the Raiders are the 33rd.
Arizona going to struggle too.
But they'll get a coach before.
Oh, they'll get a coach before the other two for sure.
Yeah, because like the Raiders. Can you imagine you being home? Hey, listen, this is Tom Brady with the Raiders. I'd like you to come interview for the head coach. The what, man?
Actually, actually, they've interviewed Jesse Minter twice. The Chargers defensive coordinator.
I like Jesse Minter.
I like Minter too.
I don't know if he's going to want to take the head coaching job in the same division that he was just the DC for.
There you go.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
You think Jim Harbaugh not going to be ready for you?
Yeah. Right. You ran that all there. You ran that in practice all there. So anyway, speaking of which, let's talk about this divisional round. Now, let me say this.
Did we talk about the Bills? Y'all talked about the Bills already?
We already talked about.
Yeah, we did. No. If you want to say something, go ahead. Because I think you want to say something. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tie it in with the game. That's fine.
Okay. So let me say this. Okay. So a lot of people are wondering what my caption under my name for this week is. It said, "Don't be that clown." I'm going to talk about the clowns. Okay. I want to talk about the first thing first. I need to take off my analyst hat and put on my fan hat for this one. All right. So listen. The San Francisco 49ers got beat by the Seattle Seahawks this week. This past week, pretty bad. Now, for those of y'all who follow the show, y'all know that I've been saying for the longest. What have I been saying, gentlemen? Something's going to eventually give, right?
Yes.
Because they're out there with guys from off the street. I said, and when it does give, it's going to give in a big way. It's going to be like you putting duct tape on Hoover Dam with a crack in it, and then finally that dam breaks and everything's flooded. That's what we saw happen in the division around Seattle. Now, first thing first, let me address the first group of clowns. People who claim to be Seattle fans. If you're not from the Pacific Northwest, you're not a real Seattle fan. Stop it. Okay? Because you just dusted off that Seattle Seahawks jersey that you put up in 2015.
Yeah, that Richard Sherman jersey that Russell
when the Seahawks started sucking again, you hung that jersey back. You hung that jersey up and you picked up a Chiefs jersey. That's who you are.
That Seahawks jersey was collecting dust.
So that's the first thing. You dusted off that Seahawks. Oh, I'm a Seahawks fan. My Seahawks. Shut up.
Put it in dry cleaners.
All right. You probably was still in plastic. You had it. You wrapped it in plastic or whatever, or you went out and bought. You wouldn't have to go out and buy a new one because you're so fickle. We talk about bandwagon fans. You might have thrown that jersey away once the Seahawks started sucking around 2015, 2016. Okay.
And you went to the city dump to find it?
You might have gone to the city dump to find it. So that's the first set of clowns. Now, again, Seattle fans who are actually from there, people who actually know who Jim Zorn is, respect.
And Kurt Warner. Not that Kurt Warner, the other one.
No. Don't you say the other Kurt Warner, because if you're a real Seahawks fan, you know who we're talking about.
Right.
So if you know who Jim Zorn is and Kurt Warner and those guys, I'm not talking about you. Respect. Y'all did y'all thing, even though, y'all played some backups. Okay.
I don't want to ever hear that name. Y'all know that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the head coach. We're talking about the quarterback.
I get it.
Yeah, we're talking about the quarterback.
I get it.
So So next group of people. If
Dennis
your
Serrato.
team, listen to me now, if your team was beat by one of the teams that lost this weekend and you celebrating, shut up. I'm looking at you,
so I can
Eagles fans.
celebrate.
I'm looking at you, Eagles fans, because regardless of what happened to San Francisco in the divisional round, you weren't there.
That's right. You was on the couch with us.
You lost to San Francisco's practice squad in your backyard. Shut up.
Went to your house.
You sound pathetic. You wearing a red nose right now with a multicolored wig. You are a clown.
Homie, don't play that.
Okay, third group of people. If you are a fan of a team that didn't even get to 500 this year, present company excluded, because Brandon, you my dog, and you were almost fully healthy, you added people and still had one of the worst defenses in the league, you can't say nothing. I'm looking at you, Cowboys fans. Okay? Do you understand how utterly pathetic you are? If you're one of those Cowboy fans, like I said, present company excluded, because my dog don't do that. Okay? But if you one of them Cowboy fans, I'm looking at you, Terrence Hayden. I'm calling you by your government name on the app. You stay out my phone, Terrence Hayden. Stay out my phone. People who are walking cannot laugh at somebody who has a flat tire on their Ferrari. People who are homeless and living under the freeway can't laugh at somebody's pipe busted or a broken window in their mansion. Shut up. If you didn't even make the playoff, wait a minute. I'm going to take it a step further before we go any further. The last 3 times that the Cowboys made the playoffs, 2 of those 3 times San Francisco sent them home. Shut up. Okay. Now I'm taking my fan hat off and I'm going back to my analyst hat. All right.
Okay, Busta Rhymes.
The Seattle Seahawks completely dismantled the San Francisco 49ers. They were completely outmanned. They couldn't do anything. There was not much they could do. You missed a George Kittle. You already had the deficiencies on defense. And it started with the opening kickoff and just snowballed from there. I stand on what I said a couple of weeks ago. Seattle is the best team in the NFC. And they're proving it because Sam Darnold is learning just protect the ball. When you got a defense that good, CJ Stroud, I'm looking at you. When you realize you have a good defense and a good running game, all you have to do is protect the ball.
That's it.
And Sam Darnold did that. He made the throws when he needed to make the throws, let his running game and his defense handle the rest. And if he stays with that formula, we could see the Seattle Seahawks back in the Super Bowl in a couple of weeks. Okay, fellas?
Just talking about that game, yeah. I mean, and I'm not disrespecting you. It's just because of the injuries and because of the score, it's not really much to say. But I will say this. When those guys are healthy next year, and for you, E, hopefully they do stay healthy the entire season, they are going to be more dangerous because you and I, we talked about it. Hey, you guys won that many games with that many injuries. What does it look like if you're fully healthy? Yes, you're a year older, but you're still going to get better. 1, because you have a lot of salary cap space. 2, you have a lot of draft picks. So you can add to your roster. And you and I also, and we mentioned, hey, there were some games that you guys lost when you were already minus players that if you'd have had those players, you would have won. And that would have gave you a much better record, a much higher seeding. And instead of Seattle or LA being in the conference championship game on Sunday at 6:30, that probably could have been y'all.
Yeah, I have no doubts that the 49ers only lost 5 games this year.
So think about that. You lost 5 games, and I think you and I agreed that at least 3 of those games, or maybe 4, it was either 3 or 4 games that you guys lost. That hey, if you'd had these other guys in, you'd have won. So you'd had a number 1 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that they probably would have won that Week 18 game against Seattle. The game against Jacksonville. I'm thinking back. There's a couple of games that they probably could have won if healthy. Yeah. That's a whole nother topic because the end of the year press conference was with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan today, excuse me, and they were talking about the electric substation next to the practice facility now. And first it started off as a conspiracy theory, but then after you do your research, you find out it's a real thing. There's an electrical substation right next to the 49ers practice facility. And it gives out these low frequency waves that actually weaken soft tissue. And it either causes cancer or weakens soft tissue. What have been the majority of the 49ers injuries since 2015?
Soft tissue injuries.
ACLs, hamstrings, Achilles, all of these things. So there's some credence to that. And they're looking into everything that's going to try to make that better because I have no doubts. And I've already taken my fan head off. This is my unbiased, objective analysis. If San Francisco was healthy this year, they could have possibly gone undefeated and still be playing. Because for them to do what they did with what they had. Mm-hmm. You throw Nick Bosa in there. You throw Fred Warner, who's the best linebacker in football, back in there. You throw those guys in there. George Kittle never gets hurt. Brock Purdy doesn't miss all that time he missed.
Yeah, he missed some time.
He missed like 6. He missed like
games, some of that range.
Yeah. So it's like you look at that and it's like, okay, hey man, Michael Williams, the first
round pick. Yep.
First round pick. Fun fact. This is a fun stat. The 49ers were number 6 against the run when Michael Williams was there. The minute he got hurt, they dropped all the way to 26th.
That's crazy.
He wasn't getting sacks, but he was setting the edge like a sun gun. So, like, they had one of the best run defenses. The run defense became a sieve once he got hurt and once Fred Warner went out. So, you look at that, they're drafting the right guys. The coaching is there. The rumor is right now with Robert Saleh gone that Gus Bradley is going to take over the defense. So there's very little turnover in the scheme because Gus Bradley was Robert Saleh's boss.
Yep.
So nobody knows that scheme better than Gus Bradley. So there's going to be very little turnover with that. If Kyle Shanahan, there's very few things you know how hard I am on Kyle Shanahan. There was very few things he did coaching-wise this year that made me upset. I was like, he's on it this year. He was really on it. And for those of you who watch this show, y'all know I am a very harsh critic of Kyle Shanahan. Mm-hmm. So for me to say that, I was like, he's a coach of the year candidate. Do I think he'll get it? No. But the fact that he's a coach of the year candidate speaks volumes. But I think I won't talk less about San Francisco, more about Seattle moving forward. I do believe that they're the best team in the NFC.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And then we can move on to the Rams and the Chicago game. On the NFC side, now I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna let Brandon and Tristan go. Matt Stafford leads the league in turnover-worthy throws. This is not something I made up. You can go look this up. The thing is, you have to catch them. There were 4 instances, Chicago, where you dropped interceptions. That would have been the difference in the game. This was already a close game. We went into overtime. If you catch 2 of those 4 interceptions, Chicago's walking out of there and they're on their way to the NFC Championship. Caleb Williams has matured tremendously. I don't blame him for that last interception. I really put that more on DJ Moore. Just like he pulled a, no offense, Brandon, but he pulled a George Pickens on that route.
I was gonna say he pulled a Patrick Creighton way back in 2007 versus the Giants.
He just really didn't like. He was not. I don't know where his head was, but I'm not putting that interception on Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams played phenomenally, and he's only going to get better. That's the scary part. So Chicago
DMV, baby, DMV.
Yes, hey, Chicago fans, you got a lot to look forward to because he's only going to get better. He was here his rookie season. He's here now.
And he needs a wide receiver because those guys are dropping passes out there in Chicago.
Thank you, Brandon. His completion percentage was low only because of drops.
Yeah.
Not because he wasn't hitting his guys. These guys were just dropping. Oh, my God. Colston Loveland dropped at least 3 first downs in that game. At least 3 that I can remember. And remember, during the draft, we had a live draft show. We like, oh, it's going to be Tyler Warren. It's got to be Tyler Warren. It's got to be Tyler Warren. And they drafted Colston Loveland. And we were like, they're going to pay for that later. Chicago, you're at home right now because you didn't draft Tyler Warren. You drafted Colston Loveland. And he dropped balls when it really mattered in that game.
Yeah.
In a game that close. Go ahead, fellas.
You draft Warren, you're in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I'm not as hard on Matt Stafford as my amazing big bruh is. But what I will say, if there was a team that could take advantage of Matthew Stafford and his gunslinging ways, it would be the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, absolutely.
If there was a team that could do it,
because they catch.
They catch.
They catch.
So you know that would definitely be my concern if I'm a Rams fan, because this is going to be one of the more evenly matched games that we have seen in a while. Where you're talking about the between the trenches, the skill players, like this is very evenly matched. Like you can go, it can be either or, but the factor will be, is Matt Stafford going to pull his Jekyll and Hyde situation? And is Sam Darnold going to choke or not? That's where this boils down to.
You know that's true.
What versions are you going to get from them? Because that's what's going to determine the outcome of the game. Are we going to get Mr. Hyde and Matt Stafford, and is Sam Darnold going to choke? That's what you need to know. So
I'll tell you right now, you get Mr. Hyde every week from the Matt Stafford. They just don't get caught. The picks don't get caught. That's the only difference between Jekyll and Hyde.
So we gotta see what's gonna happen with that. But right now, I mean, I wanted Chicago to be in a Super Bowl. I was rooting for them to be in a Super Bowl because I was rooting for Caleb Williams because he's from DMV, played at Gonzaga. You know, I root for guys, you know, that are from the area when I don't have anybody else to root for in the playoffs. So I wanted it to be them. And I think in the next couple of years, I think they are going to be humming around the conference championship because listen, and I said this earlier when I was talking to somebody, and I mean this. There's only one, and I mean it. There's only one other player that can make the throws that Caleb Williams can make, and that's number 15 over there in Arrowhead. He's the only other player, not Josh Allen, not any of the rest. There's only one person that can make the throws that we saw Caleb Williams do, and that's number 15 over there.
Especially that his last 2 games, really.
He displayed exactly why he was number 1. He displayed exactly why people looked at him as the generational talent. Because once he gets it mastered in between the ears, it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a problem.
And you have receivers that catch the ball.
Yeah, we watched that maturation this season. We watched that maturation.
And you have the perfect coach to do that. You have the perfect coach. He has a very old school way of thinking. They were talking to him about how can what do you guys look to build off from this season? He said, We're not building off of nothing. We're starting from square one. Just like the other 32 teams, we'll start at square one when this all season comes. That's the mentality you gotta have. Because he easily could have rested on the laurels, like, well, we had a really great year. We just gotta do minor things. He's like, no, we back at square one. Because in his mind, he's like, if you don't hoist that Lombardi at the end of the year, you've done nothing.
You done nothing.
That's the mentality you gotta have, and you can see that Caleb buys into that. So it's always the winning formula. If your head coach and your star player, if they're in cohesion, good, especially if it's the quarterback, good things are gonna happen.
I got a hot take.
Chicago
is going to be the team to beat in the North for some time. I think that them beating Green Bay twice is not an anomaly. I think they're going to start to own that division. Detroit, they're going to have to figure some things out.
Yeah, I think didn't they hire an OC? I forgot who it is, but I think they hired an OC in Detroit.
Detroit's going to have to figure it out because Jared Goff has limitations.
Yes, he does.
And so
the Vikings,
the Vikings need a quarterback.
The Vikings made a mistake with JJ McCarthy, and letting Sam Darnold walk out the door,
and that's gonna plague them for years.
And Jordan Love, as good as he is, Caleb is going to be better than him.
Caleb is better than him now.
Okay, you give it to him now. I don't want to
give it to him now.
So
let me ask you a question.
I'm more impressed
about Jordan Love. Has Jordan Love reached his ceiling, or does he have like a little bit left? I don't think he has much of a ceiling left.
I think he's at his ceiling. That's why I said Caleb Williams in year 2 is way more impressive than Jordan Love all the years he's played. And I know that may be just me alone saying it. But
no, I don't think so, man.
My eye test says Caleb Williams in year 2, where he still has room to grow, is still better than Jordan Love right now.
And I'm starting to think Green Bay made a mistake by giving him all that money.
Hello. Speaking of somebody that's going to be getting money that could or could not be getting money in the future, let's move on to the AFC. The Houston Texans. Family at home, forgive me, because I'm right here in Texas. Like, y'all look out for me because they might be coming outside my house with pitchforks and
torches
and torches and everything. You know what? No, they won't, because they know I'm telling them.
But they're going to agree with you.
They're going to agree with me. The Houston Texans had this season a Super Bowl caliber roster. This was a team that this defense was ferocious. I mean, ferocious. They ran a clinic on both Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. A defensive clinic.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. They were amazing. You punted. Okay. We punted. You got the ball. Okay. We finna take it in 3 plays or less. We finna take it from you. Oh, you're not gonna get the ball up? Okay. You better get ready to get a gurney for your quarterback.
And it's a simple defense, but it's a straight up defense too. Simple, straight up. You already know what's coming. We're gonna be physical. We're gonna be fast. We're gonna take the ball.
The defense was amazing. The running game was decent. Wasn't superlative, but it was decent. Okay. Then you look at the receiving core. You got Dalton Schultz, who's a high quality tight end. Okay. He's not on the George Kittle, Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelce in his prime. Sam Laporta, TJ Hockenson level. He's not there. He's not the Trey McBride, but he's on that next tier. So you got at least a top of the second tier tight end. Yep. And you got all these receivers.
4 of them.
Nico Collins has separated himself from the pack. He is a number 1 alpha dog receiver. Yep. Christian Kirk is finally in a role that fits him. Yes. That's why he's productive. Then you got the 2 rookies that came in, Noel and Higgins. So you got a great receiving core. Your offensive line is
you're gonna get Dell back, but
you're gonna get Dell back in the future. But I'm talking about this year.
Well, yeah,
I'm just talking about this year. But the X factor that put the Texans out of the playoffs was the just completely inept play of CJ Stroud. Completely inept. 2 playoff games. If I'm looking at this correctly, 7 turnovers in 2 playoff games.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't win like that.
Nope.
You can't win with Mike Singletary. Can't win with him. You just can't. You can't do that. And the thing is, some of these turnovers was so egregiously boneheaded that it was like, you didn't have to do that. You can take the sack because you're not thinking. You got one of the best defenses in the NFL. Take the sack, punt. The defense gonna get it back to you in three plays. If not less, because they like to create turnovers. And they did create turnovers in that game. So you don't have to take unnecessary risks. You don't have to make boneheaded plays. Like I made a joke when we was talking about it off the L. I said, if I'm Houston's defense, I'm telling the offense, we squaring up after the game. We're going to take different flights because we're going to fight. Because we went out there and fought. What the hell did y'all do? Better yet, CJ, what did you do?
That game was CJ. I can't even say that
was all CJ Stroud.
And you know what? Watching that game, and I've already respected Will Anderson. Will Anderson, Daniel Hunter, but watching them, I respected them even more because the way New England was lining up, okay, the way New England was lining up, and Donald, I see your comments, and we're gonna get to them. I'm gonna post them up, but the way New England was lining up. They had they had a tight end to the strength. They had a running back away from the strength, and that was to double team those two defensive ends coming off the edge. They were chipping, blocking like one of the DNs. I think it might have been Hunter. The tight end dealt with the tight end first, and then he had to go deal with the right tackle, and then got to the quarterback. Same thing with the other one. Had to deal with the left tackle, running back coming up to chip him, and still got to the quarterback and forced a fumble and stuff. So those two guys worked through double teams majority, if not all game long, in pass rush situations, and still causing havoc. I have a new respect for Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter because they play with effort. They have a high-end motor. It doesn't matter what the score is, they're going to keep playing the way they do. DeMeco Ryans got that defense on point. Now, credit to New England for winning that game. Drake May as a second-year quarterback. New England is back, and they are going to be around for a long time, as long as Drake May is vertical and not missing too many games.
Yeah, he's another year two guy that's like I'm really impressed with.
Yeah.
That draft class.
Yeah,
that draft class is amazing.
This might be the 83 quarterback class, honestly.
Yeah.
It could be. It really could be.
Because even with and I'm just saying this just to acknowledge the class. Even with Jaden Daniels' limited play this year, you look at his numbers. Even with his limited play, when he played full game, the games that he played from quarter 1 to quarter 4, he was in the top 12, top 10 of the quarterbacks in the league. So this class is very talented. Now the thing with Jaden is, can he last?
Yeah, can he stay healthy?
That's our concern.
Yeah,
but the ability is there. But going back to the Texans, I've never seen that like that. I've never seen such a collapse like that. It was just
Stroud.
Just outside of the numbers, just watching him play. I've never seen that. No confidence. I mean, looking like a little boy, just pouting, sitting on the bench, hand over his head.
That really bothered me too, because
it bothered me.
It wasn't like, let me look at this tablet and see what I did wrong.
Yes.
Let me go talk to the fellas on the offense. Hey, y'all, that's on me. That's my bad.
Yes.
Hey, we gonna get it. Da-da-da-da-da. He just went and
just sulked.
And it's like, that's not a leader. That's not a leader.
And I listen, like Troy Aikman said, I just really think he's chasing the ghost of his rookie year. Mm-hmm. I think he got too high in his bridges. And, I think he was just smelling himself a little bit. And I think he felt like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come back and all's going to be right in the world. It was like, brother, this is the NFL, brother. They're going to figure you out. They're going to figure out what you can and can't do. Mm-hmm. You have to keep elevating your game.
Yes.
To try to stay in front of it. But I think he kind of rested on his laurels. And then what's so bad is now you're looking at all of the memes and all of the clips of him before when he had I guess I forgot whose podcast he was on. They were trying to name like
The
top
top five
five,
quarterbacks.
and he put himself in there in his
Mhm.
rookie season.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so where was that confidence in this game?
Because
Even if you sucked, but you showed me that same confidence in this
Yeah.
game, I'd have give you a little pat.
give me that Baker Mayfield swag when he had that throwing 3 and 4 interceptions. He's still
Exactly.
walking.
Baker don't flinch.
Baker Mayfield be giving the whole games away.
Baker
like, I'm
don't
still the shit.
flinch.
You know, no, you're not.
He don't flinch. It's shake and bake. He don't flinch. So that's
Yeah.
so for me, if I'm the Texans, I got a young. It's not that they're good. They're great and they're young. It's a great young defense. Like
It's
these guys
amazing. They're
can grow
amazing.
together.
They're amazing. Listen, I have lived.
Davis Mills would have won that game.
He would have won that game because guess what? He would have been spectacular, but he wouldn't have turned the ball over.
He wouldn't have turned the ball over. And with that kind of defense, that's all you need.
That's all you got to
That's all you
do.
need.
You got defense and a running game.
And I think they're gonna have quarterback competition.
And Davis Mills can take him. He really could.
He really could.
If he's going to play like that. And to Donald's point about paying him, we're getting into the point where we're talking about his 5th-year option this year coming. And I don't know if the Texans want to exercise that.
No, I wouldn't.
Because listen, I take that money and hey, let's pay these defensive guys.
The number one pick in your draft class is getting his 5th-year option exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a kid.
Give Will Anderson his 5th-year option.
Yeah, because they drafted
the same. Give Will Anderson his. Give Will Anderson. Yes,
they lock him down. They're gonna lock him down.
Yes, give him his 5th-year option, and while he's playing on that 5th-year option, we already negotiating a new deal.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be upset if he's one of the highest paid pass rushers in the league. If his deal surpasses Michael Parsons.
He's next up. Yeah, he's next up. He's next up. But
that wide 9, baby.
I know that the fact that Bryce Young, and it's no shot to Bryce Young because he deserved to get another look. He's been steadily improving. But the fact that Bryce Young got that 5th-year option before you, and you were the rookie of the year, and Bryce Young was benched.
Come on.
Like that's a huge indictment on your part of what you've done. We've literally watched Bryce Young steadily grow.
Reverend Dr. Tris TV, ladies and gentlemen. Preach.
Like that, like we watched this. You're literally chasing that rookie year. You are holding on to it like a person that graduated from high school 20 years ago, still got their old musty Letterman jacket.
1, 2, 3,
That's
release
what
them.
you're doing.
You got to move forward.
That's what you're doing.
Release them. You got to move forward. And
it's
CJ is not doing that.
If you listen, you
got competition.
You got a whole stigma against you. One, people still remember what you did with that Wonderlic test. People still remember that you are from Ohio State, and Ohio State ain't got a great track record
for quarterbacks
lasting in this league.
They don't.
So you're not really safe.
Hey man, Ohio State and Alabama. Ohio State, Alabama, Oklahoma. Them 3 schools, when they send a quarterback out, we'd just be like, oh hell.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're not safe to be this way. And if this is right, this is a stain. You have to really redevelop yourself because this is a stain. I mean, the memes that I saw today about CJ, that's going to be you all off season, buddy. And here's the thing, and I know we got to move forward. Even the fact that he had 7 turnovers during the regular season, because everybody was like, he only had 7 turnovers during the regular season and had the 7 turnovers in these 2 games. Did CJ Stroud look great to you this season?
No.
Mm-mm.
So I don't even want to hear about the seven turnovers that he only had this season because you didn't look confident playing.
The only game he looked somewhat masterful in was the game against San Francisco. Because there was no Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and he could basically make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, spread the peanut butter with 2 picks.
That's the only time we literally saw
he
that
had all day. Yeah. So yeah, but Houston fans, The good news is you have a Super Bowl roster. The bad news is you just need a quarterback. It's not. He don't have to be spectacular. He does not. With that
Quarterback
roster, you
competition.
don't have to be spectacular.
I smell
I
a quarterback
bad.
competition. I'm sorry.
I
Yeah.
feel bad because I thought they had it. I thought they had their quarterback. I feel bad.
And here's the thing: if CJ Stroud doesn't turn his ball over, basically you got a free trip to the Super Bowl. Because moving on to the next thing, Denver was able to beat the Buffalo Bills, but they lost Bo Nix with a fractured ankle. So
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in, even though Denver's defense is great. But Denver's defense this past game against Buffalo, even though they pulled out the win, shout out to PJ Locke, Beaumont, Texas, with the pick. But even though they beat Buffalo, it still didn't look like Denver's defense in that game.
It didn't.
And so, yeah, you know, Pando's pick's gonna be real short this tonight because before we go off the air because we only got 2 games to pick. But yeah, without Bo Nix and his heroics, because Bo Nix is something about Bo Nix in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix refuses to play 3 quarters of football. I'm not gonna play first, second, third quarter. I'm gonna just come along here, maybe the end of the third, and then start balling. And it's like, what the hell? That's Bo Nix. Unfortunately, he will not be playing this Sunday.
Now let me know when I can talk about Buffalo.
Yeah, the Buffalo window, I don't know about it being closed, but depends on who the coach is. But I'll put it to you like this. My picks for the week, the only one I got wrong was the Bears. I knew Buffalo was not going to win in Denver against Denver, even though Denver's defense didn't play great. It was just like, I just feel like Buffalo was never impressive. But, you know, the winner of that Patriots-Texas game is basically going to the Super Bowl. So the New England Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl. There it is, Pando's picks. There it is, you know. But yeah, I mean, you can't convince me that Jared Stidham's going to go out there against New England's defense.
Well, and listen, Denver, the rest of the players are going to have to play above and beyond what they've already been doing this season.
And here's the thing: if they play above and beyond and somehow, some way, pull out this magical, majestical, mystical upset and beat New England and go to the Super Bowl, they're gonna get dog walked by Seattle. There's your other pick, folks. So you know, I just see like Seattle's on a whole nother level. Now they're gonna put up 41 points on somebody and stuff like that. They did that because San Francisco was just severely wounded, but that defense is stifling.
I will say this though, Kenyon Coleman had a much better game than I expected. I wasn't expecting him to do much of anything because they deactivated dude, and I was like, well, he may not play anymore this coming season. But he played in that game. He had a few catches, and I was like, oh, okay, you are playing football now, huh? I don't know. I don't know if he finally learned his lesson or what happened, but I guess we'll see what happened with that moving forward. Josh Allen needs wide receivers. He has tight ends. But like I said earlier in this podcast, they're going to revamp that defense, man, because that defense is out of shape. But speaking of defense, you know, Sean McDermott is a defensive mind, and let's go to Trish TV because he got something to say about this.
All right. So I had a chance to stew on this a little bit. Okay. Woke up on Monday, saw the alert that Sean McDermott got fired. And I sat there and I said, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Because of how everything transpired. But then I sat on it a little more. And then I started reading some stuff. And then I listened to the press conference today by Beam, their GM, and the owner.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, I wish nothing but ineptitude for Buffalo organization. When I tell you, I wish nothing but the worst for that organization for how they dealt with Sean McDermott. Let me tell you something. Do y'all know who has the highest winning percentage in the last 7 seasons in the entire NFL?
I saw it. Sean McDermott.
You tell.
Can I tell you how
You
many
tell.
times he's been in the playoffs, and not only in the playoffs, but also been in the divisional round and the conference championship during his tenure?
9 out of 10 years.
Can I also tell you the fact that he's the one that brought in Bean to be the GM? Do you know how many Pro Bowlers Bean has drafted for this roster?
Outside of Josh Allen.
Uh-huh.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Did they draft James Cook?
Uh-huh.
Is
That's
James
one.
Cook a Pro Bowler?
That's one.
Okay, so this is outside Josh Allen, so it's one.
Outside of Josh Allen, one. Uh-huh.
Okay. Receivers.
Oh, you know that answer.
Okay. Has Dawson Knox been to the Pro Bowl?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
And I know KK hasn't been yet.
Nope.
Any offensive lineman?
One.
Okay. Dawkins?
Dawkins.
Okay. So that's two.
Two Pro Bowlers. From
Oh,
the
you stopped me,
time-
man. I was going to go to defense.
No.
Wait a minute. Hold
There's
on.
only-
Stop.
That- see, think when
Stop.
Bean became the GM.
When did Bean become? Hold on.
That was way before they had that second. He was after that secondary. He was after they old boy was drafted on that D line. He's after that. He's
Hold on.
after all of that. He's
What,
only had two Pro Bowlers on his regime. On his regime. He's only drafted two Pro Bowlers.
So he's been there since 2017. Okay, so hold on. Time out.
And this is what Sean McDermott has been working with from 2017.
And
then
been in the conversation every year.
Every year. And then I come and listen to this press conference, and you talk about the decision to fire him was after the game on Saturday, in which Josh Allen probably played his worst football.
Oliver.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where is Stephon Diggs playing this weekend?
New England.
The wide receiver that y'all shipped out?
AFC Championship.
What happened to Keon Coleman? That they said, oh, Keon Coleman wasn't Bean's pick. He was trying to be a team player. And yet there's a clip that said that Keon Coleman was glad that he ran a 4.57 because it'll make it easy for us to draft him. Okay, so we caught you in that lie because Bean did want to draft him. So you did all of that and fired Sean McDermott without talking to any of your players, without supposedly talking to Josh Allen himself, when you gave him nothing to answer after having Stephon Diggs out the door. You gave him nothing for his offensive line. James Cook had to develop. Thank God he did. You did nothing with that tight end set that you put together. You mean to tell me Sean McDermott was the person to be fired?
Like I said before, Tristan.
Yeah, because I'm looking at this. I'm sorry.
I told you.
Yeah,
I researched.
That's.
I wanted to make sure I was correct.
I said that firing was a knee-jerk firing, and it was not smart. Because who are you going to find that's going to be able to do what Sean McDermott did?
I don't understand that. So in my mind,
whoa, real quick. Sorry, they do have another Pro Bowler. Milano.
Oh, Milano. Yes. So 3. So who are you going to find? Who are you going to find to come in to give you the result that you have had with this man for less than a decade, in a time where coaches that are successful
Don't
have a
know.
long leash, a long tenure, 9 years, and you said, "Oh, we got to cut the cord." When you've been in these conversations of Super Bowl or bust. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So my thing is this. Whoever Bean brings in, because he's the point man for the head coaching.
Yes, he is.
Look, whoever he brings in, you realize that your team can't be no less than the divisional round. You realize that, right? That's the pressure that whoever the head coach is taking this job. It can't go no less than divisional round.
And actually, you got to remember, their best playoff game that they lost was that shootout against Kansas City.
Exactly.
When they just kept going, when they kept exchanging touchdowns.
So why do you think? So everybody's like, why is nobody taking a Buffalo job? Think about this. You're going to take this Buffalo job after Sean McDermott did what he did for the 9 years, without a number one receiver, with the AFC loading back up. Patrick Mahomes is going to be back.
Yeah, obviously.
Mike McDaniels is over there with the Chargers. You know that offense is going to be a lot better.
Man,
we're going to see what the Bengals do if they grow some sense. But Joe Burrow will be healthy. So you have Lamar Jackson's coming back with a vengeance.
Houston's still going to be a problem.
Houston is still going to be a problem.
We
already saw what Jacksonville did. So you mean to tell me that you're going to expect a coach first time to come in and have this roster and have that pressure of having the standard that Sean McDermott set with all the big wigs of the AFC coming back? Come on, man. That's why nobody's taking that job. Nobody's clamoring for it. Yes, the intrigue of having Josh Allen as your quarterback, yes, that's intriguing. But there's so many holes that Josh Allen honestly covered up. To be honest.
No, he did. And I may criticize him as a pure quarterback, but as an overall quarterback, game
as a football player,
yeah, I can't criticize him. I will never criticize him for that.
No, he had his worst game. I don't absolve him from this game at all.
No,
but to say for Sean McDermott to get fired, that's
absolutely not. That's knee jerk. The McDermott, the Harbaugh firing, those are the two biggest knee jerk firings there is. And then we can talk about Mike Tomlin stepping down. But those three teams, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore, they gonna have a hell of a time trying to find.
And you know what? I'm sorry, Trisha. I'm sorry, because I know you want to say something. One of the hardest things to do, and I don't care what level of football it is, whether it's professional, college, even high school, it is difficult to replace that head coach that's had a ton of success. Look at Alabama right now. Alabama, they winning games, but they're not dominant Alabama they was under Saban. Okay?
Nowhere near.
Florida hasn't been the same since Urban Meyer. And there was a gap in Florida between Steve Spurrier and Urban Meyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reminder to folks, okay? It is difficult to follow a successful coach like that. Guys who are, and I said who they are. They are what I call program or franchise flippers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Jim Harbaughs, the Sean Paytons, those guys are difficult to replace, and it's hard being the next guy to follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, man. This is my opinion on this. Is my take. And we running too long on time, but I really feel like those three teams are going to struggle next year because they're going to hire somebody that they can just get. That they may hire somebody who may be talented but not ready to be a head coach yet because they just got to get somebody. They may get somebody that's like a complete lame duck type of like a Jeff Fisher, I'm just throwing out names, but a Hackett type of coach, Arthur Smith type of coach. Guys like that. They're gonna have guys like that. They're hire. I know. I just triggered Tristan.
Somebody. Hey, listen. Somebody call Tristan's wife and tell her to go give this man a hug, okay?
Give him a defibrillator or something. But listen,
you done said two names tonight, Eric. I'm trying to figure out what's your problem with me. You done said two names tonight.
I'm sorry, Tristan. I just realized what I said. But go get I'm gonna be fair, a Dennis Erickson type. Okay. Somebody like that. They're gonna wind up with somebody like that, and they won't. I feel like these teams won't get back to being respectable until after this next coach.
And that's going to be the same thing because
it'll be the coach, two coaches removed because they'll realize the error of their ways. But by that time, they'll have to blow everything up
Yeah,
and
because
to start over.
Josh Allen's gonna be too old. Lamar
He's
Jackson's
gonna be
gonna be
30.
too old.
He's gonna be 30.
Yeah, they're gonna. I hate to say it. They're gonna. Excuse me. They're gonna be finished. Those guys are going to be finished or close to being finished by the time they figure
And
out
so
that
you
they
have to
need a
blow
new head coach.
everything up and start over.
And those rosters are going to be depleted.
The only job that's going to come down first between those three is going to be that Ravens job, and it's because Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry are there. Somebody's going to be like, let me take a swing.
It's interesting because we sit here with Sanders. I know we long-winded tonight, but this is authentic stuff, guys. This authentic stuff, and there's a lot happened. It's interesting that with Sanders because it's like, okay, it's tough to follow up Pittsburgh with Tomlin, Harbaugh in Baltimore, McDermott in Buffalo, but then you got franchises like Arizona is looking for a head coach still, Cleveland's still looking for a head coach, and then the Raiders are still looking for a head coach. So it's like
the difference between those franchises and these franchises is one word: patience.
No, that is true. That is true.
That's it.
But
Arizona ain't going nowhere no time soon.
No, that's
Cleveland
true.
ain't going nowhere no time
That's
soon.
true.
Raiders ain't going. So you can take that job and say, "Hey, give me some time."
Yeah.
Them other ones, you can't say that to them.
That's true. But the follow up is more difficult with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo than it is with those other ones because you're not really following it. I mean,
you're not following nothing.
Right. The Raiders could fire you and still have to pay you, and they be paying $70 million to 6 head coaches.
Yeah.
Hey, the Raiders paying $50 million. So, but that's what I really feel like, like the Bible said, that what you sow, also you shall
reap.
And I really feel like they're gonna reap what they sow by these knee-jerk firings. They are going,
especially the Bills.
Especially the Bills and Baltimore is a close second, because I really feel like they're not going to get back to where they were the last few years until their 2 coaches removed. They're going to hire somebody. That guy's going to be awful, and that guy's going to be awful or just not ready to be a head coach yet.
I think both. Well, not both. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, I think they wanted Brian Flores, and Flores just said, "Hey, I'm going back to Minnesota and remain the defensive coordinator."
Yeah.
Unless he just changed his mind and goes to be a head coach. But he said, "No, I'm gonna sign this new contract in Minnesota."
I can see Buffalo going the offensive route and going to get somebody like a Clint or a Clay Kubiak. Neither one of them are ready to be head coaches. And then they're gonna find out, like, okay, these guys aren't ready yet. And they're going to lose a lot of games they're supposed to win. And it's going to be just a hot mess, Okay, so, but that being said, Pando's picks, Seattle versus New England in the Super Bowl. There you go.
Dang, I didn't even get a chance to do this.
Seattle versus New England in the Super Bowl.
Y'all took a hiatus for a few years. Now y'all back up. Man, that's
I mean, come on. Is there anybody disputing that?
No.
Okay.
That was great.
The Rams, they lost to Carolina and damn near lost to them again.
They're going to lose to Seattle. They're going to lose
the Rams damn near lost to Chicago, which that's no shame in that because Chicago's a good team. But like, who's been the most dominant team in the last probably 6 weeks of this season, including playoffs? Out of Seattle and the Rams. And I've said it already. I said Seattle's a better team than the Rams. They're better than the Rams. And nobody believed me until Seattle beat them.
That's so funny.
I'm still stuck on the fact that the Patriots are back here.
Yeah. Already.
We thought.
Hey, Tennessee, you see what you did? Hey, Buffalo, you watching? This is an example of what happens when you knee-jerk fire a coach.
Look what you did, Tennessee.
And Buffalo, I hope you're watching, because this is what happens when you knee-jerk fire a coach.
You brought back one of
and he goes somewhere else where they like him and they take care of him. Tennessee, you watching? Because Vrabel's about to be in the Super Bowl and not in New Jersey.
And didn't we say that when they hired Vrabel? Didn't we say, like, give him a couple years?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a wrap.
Drake may come in and sped up the equation.
Because who Okay, outside of Tom Brady, who understands the Patriot way more than Mike Vrabel? When you really think
Ooh.
when you really think about it, you can think of all the players that have played in New England and stuff like that. But when you talk about that brain, outside of Tom Brady, who better than Mike Vrabel?
No one's better. I mean, now Seymour will understand it, but I don't think
Yeah,
Seymour.
okay. Yeah.
Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis. Okay.
Ty
But Mike
Law.
Vrabel's but Mike Vrabel's right there in that trust.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when he got the job,
It's a pecking order. Vrabel's up there. I mean, Vrabel's number one, obviously. Now, obviously, Seymour probably doesn't want to coach in his career, in his life.
Willie don't either.
Yeah, Willie probably don't want to coach
already
either,
made that
and that's
clear.
fine. That's fine. But as far as understanding it, they understand
game.
it. But they understand the Patriot way. But they're not going to turn around and become coach. Vrabel was the right choice.
Now, let me say this little caveat because I know we're about to wrap up. If you guys have not, I'm not talking about you guys, I'm talking about those that are listening to it. If y'all have not listened to clips or listened to podcasts with Tom Brady talking, do yourself a favor and go listen to Tom Brady. And you understand why he is the GOAT. When you listen to him talk football, you understand why he's the GOAT. Just listen to him talk football.
You know what? These younger generations could really learn a lot from him, man.
He's throwing some gems.
And he's not just throwing out gems as far as like just talking football, but I'm just talking about like life with football and stuff like that. I haven't listened to the podcast, but just little stuff I've heard him say via social media where it was like just maybe like a 30-second clip. I'm like,
the way Kobe Bryant fused basketball and life.
Yeah.
That's what Tom Brady's doing. And it's brilliant.
And you know what? I'm not surprised you said that, man, because Kobe was fantastic in the NBA, man. Kobe was fantastic in the NBA, and you saw with Tom Brady, and they were cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
they were cut from the same cloth of that, not just greatness, man, just that. I don't even know what you call it, man.
That's why if I'm the Raiders, Tom Brady got to make the decision about the quarterback position.
Yes, the only fear, Tristan, the only fear I have,
the Jordan effect.
Yes,
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay,
because Jordan's cut from that same cloth.
Because
Jordan,
you're trying to find the next
office is like
you're trying to find yourself in this person, and you're one of one.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys, let me ask you a question. How do y'all feel about the Raiders?
Trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
Hey guys, I have another question for you.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about Trayvon Texas Toast Diggs?
Well, you know he's
trash, 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 trash. I am trash.
I laughed so hard when I
just want to point out that Eli Apple has a job and Trayvon Diggs doesn't.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
I laughed so hard when he got cut.
How you get cut and you ain't got no? How you get fired and you ain't got no supervisor? You ain't got a defensive coordinator and you got cut. Do you know how garbage you got? It's like Craig getting fired on his day off on Friday. How you getting fired and you ain't even got a supervisor?
They barely had his name printed on the jersey.
I think they just took one of them white markers and just wrote on the back. They didn't even show it.
Hey, listen. When you was in the playoff, man, you played one snap and you look horrible. Horrible on that one snap. I was like, excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? Was that the best you can do? Huh?
I just want to point out, even though it's a practice squad job, Eli Apple has a job in Trayvon Diggs.
I'm just saying, he getting a check.
He getting a check. Eli Apple is getting a check. And Trayvon Diggs isn't. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, I thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yo.
The supervisor then went and got promoted and went somewhere else. And you didn't. Hey, listen, we know that Hafley's gone and everything, but we don't need you no more.
We don't need you.
Well, how do you know? You don't know who the new defensive coordinator? It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter who you bring in.
He didn't even go through the 90-day probation.
Yeah, it was like, but they might need me in the new scheme. Yeah, it don't matter. No, he won't. No, he won't. Whoever the new guy is, we don't. No.
That's bad, yo. You don't have a defensive coordinator, and the organization is like, I don't care. I don't care. Bye. Turn
your playbook.
Yeah. Did he even get a playbook?
That's bad.
That's
bad.
They didn't even give him a locker. They just gave him like a little, the little plastic tote you got from Walmart.
Trayvon, what is the terminology for cover 2? What is the terminology for cover 3? What is the terminology for 2 high man coverage?
Cooked.
Barbecue chicken, baby.
The answer to all of those questions are cooked.
Texas toast, baby. Burnt.
Barbecue chicken.
Flame broiled. Have your way at Burger King.
We'd like to thank you for watching just another episode of Just a Fan Podcast. My name is Pando316, and I reminded people don't be that clown. Over here we have Coach Williams, is a future Hall of Famer. And below, Tris TV, the man with the gift and the gab, with his brand new house. He's a middle back on this show. We like because Brandon's out of control. He can't even function. That's why I had to take over the closing out the show. Make sure you follow us. We are on Twitter. We like to call it Twitter. It's X. We are on TikTok. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and some other platforms that I don't even remember. But the important thing is that you subscribe on YouTube. That's what we're trying to get ourselves leveled up. So if you have a friend that likes football and likes to talk about football, and they're fans just like us, have them come to our page and hit subscribe and the bell so you can get notifications. We are live every Wednesday, 8:20 p.m. We will be moving to Mondays after the Super Bowl because Brandon has he started off the show just coughing. He couldn't even start the show. Now he can't even finish the show. So, but yeah, thank y'all for watching another episode. To our mainstays, so our ride or dies, our day ones that's always watching the show. Thank you so much. Titus Ross, Donald Ray Valerie, Eric James. I'm thinking about Terrell Knighton. There's some other guys that's always on the show. Thank you so much.
Titus.
And please, again, tell some friends and subscribe. Good night.
You gotta get a parking spot.
Oh, man.
He didn't even get a parking spot.
Hey, yo, you
going to swipe the card?